Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Holly and today we are doing my 19-week pregnancy update. So in today's video we are going to be talking about baby development, we're going to be talking about my physical symptoms, mental health, I'm going to share with you some maternity clothes that I've bought from Boohoo.com, I will be talking about the baby's movement, and we will also be doing a belly shot towards the end of the video. But if you would like to see anything in particular, then make sure to have a look at the timestamps below in the description box. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to click that subscribe button too. And let's get started. So first things first, and I thought I'd quickly go over the development of baby at 19 weeks. So there's nothing too much different than last week, but baby should be weighing around 10 ounces right now, which the scan that we had last week, which was the day before we turned 19 weeks, baby did measure 10 ounces. So baby at the minute is completely measuring on track. So baby is developing a waxy coating, which I believe is called the vernix, and this is to protect baby from the amniotic fluid and the birth canal, which sometimes babies are still then born with this after they've obviously been born, which usually does go away before birth, but sometimes if they're early and stuff then they still do have that. And it is actually super moisturizing, so it's really good to like rub that into the skin, which I always make sure is in my birth plan, is that it's rubbed in, that it's not like washed away or rubbed off, it's actually massaged into the skin for extra protection and moisturization. So apparently tiny hairs on the head are developing as well. In my last pregnancy we did actually get to see the little hairs on the head because we had scans so much later on in pregnancy because of growth restrictions, so it will be exciting to see when they start showing up with this baby on scans, because we are having a lot of reassurance and growth scans during this pregnancy. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to when we will actually get to see if this baby is going to have a full head of hair or not much. It will be really cute to see. It's an amazing thing to be able to see on a scan, so I'm really looking forward to that. So coordination is also developing at the minute, where neurons are connecting with muscles, which is giving the baby a lot more control over the movements. So the movements that I'm feeling in my belly at the minute are much more the baby's in control of their movements, which is really cool to think that they're starting to be more in control of their own body and get to know their own body. So yeah, that's just another thing that baby is getting up to this week in terms of development. And now I think it's time we move on to a quick mental health update following on from my struggles from last week. So mental health wise, it's still been a struggle. It's very much been up and down days. I find I keep pulling myself back and then I deteriorate again, and it's a case of very low lows and very high highs. I feel great when I feel good and I feel very low when I feel low, so it's just very much polar opposite and it's very hard to keep track. But I guess a lot of that could be hormonal as well. That is just a natural part of pregnancy, I think, so it's very hard to distinguish. And I know that I've read that it is quite difficult to get a diagnosis of prenatal depression because there's a level of this instability that is, I guess, considered normal, and certain things like the low mood can also be considered a pregnancy symptom. So in that sense, I don't know that I'm necessarily ever going to get an official diagnosis. It's hard enough trying to get any appointments at the minute, but yeah, it's just very much up and down and just trying to manage the lows and try not to overdo it when I have the highs and not go too much to the other end of the spectrum that then I crashed. So it's about kind of leveling myself out a little bit, which is just something that I'm still working on. I am actually filming this video a few days late, which actually is why I have pre-recorded my belly shot like about 4 days ago, but yeah, so obviously I'm a little bit further on than 19 weeks. But that's pretty much it for my mental health. It just seems to be one of those roller coaster things where I guess I just don't take easily to pregnancy. It's maybe not something that my body adapts very well to. I do struggle with hormonal changes. Like when I'm not pregnant, I suffer with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and hormonal disruption is something I've always struggled with. So I think it's just one of those things where I'm trying to manage the best I can, and we are just trying to focus on the future and trying to stay positive as much as possible. And now I think it's time to move on to talking about my physical symptoms. I wouldn't say there's anything significantly different than last week. There's possibly some increase in heartburn. I do apologise if you can hear my children screaming at the minute. Trust me, I cannot wait for school to start and for this to just, yeah, I just kind of need a break, but yes, they are screaming downstairs, so I do apologise if you can hear them right now. As I was trying to say, heartburn has definitely increased, especially if I'm cleaning and like if I go into crazy nesting mode and I'm like bending down a lot, picking stuff up. That's when it really ramps up, which is annoying because I'm super motivated to do all the cleaning and stuff, and then the heartburn just hits. And it's just that awkward thing of trying to balance crazy nesting mode and actual physical pregnancy symptoms. I am actually nesting quite a lot as well, which has been boosting my mood. It's been one of the things that started to make me feel good. I do seem to be having some really good days where I do get nesting and I am like getting on top of the house, and that's always been something that tidy house, tidy mind for me, and it really does help me have mental clarity. I guess the only problem is the adverse effect of when it's messy, then I find it very hard from a cognitive point of view that I'm very stressed, and I find it hard to focus and concentrate, so it makes me even more stressed. So it's hard for me to sometimes justify that I need to leave the mess because physically my body can't always do everything that I used to do. So I'm kind of trying to balance what's best for my body but what's best for my mind, and sometimes these two things don't always, they kind of clash a little bit. I would say one of the biggest things that I've noticed in the last week has been an increase in tiredness. I don't know if that's because I'm doing more with doing the nesting, and of course with when my mental health is bad I tend to get very wound up about things, which then does tend to lead me to crash. But I just seem super tired at the minute. I've also been missing my vitamins because I ran out, and because of just being disorganised and COVID affecting our finances, I hadn't got around to ordering anymore, and I probably missed at least a week's worth of the multivitamin, and I honestly do think that that was kind of keeping me going, especially when my diet still isn't always great, so it just was giving me that boosted levels of energy. So I'm really struggling with the fatigue at the minute, but fingers crossed if those vitamins come in that I will feel a little bit better by next week. And now moving on to talk about my favourite bit, which is baby movements. So the baby movements are super strong. I can see them, I can feel them with my hands, I see my belly moving. I did actually manage to capture footage of this on my phone, but unfortunately my SIM card failed and the footage was corrupt and did not save. So I did have footage like of a really active baby, like you could see it jumping around and doing all sorts, rolling about, kicks and everything, which is crazy for me to think that some people even at this stage are still struggling to feel their baby, and yet I'm actually seeing the baby move, and it's like it's obvious that I can just see that the baby's moving. So I'm really gutted that I lost that footage, but I promise I do have some footage ready for next week that I will show you guys in my next video. And then before we move on to doing my belly shot, I want to share with you guys some clothes that I've ordered from the maternity section at boohoo.com. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed, and I don't know if it's just because I misjudged the pictures, but to me these don't really come across as maternity actual fitted clothing, not compared to the higher end, more expensive maternity clothing that I have bought in the past. But I do like the fact that they have slogans on and stuff that's actually more interesting than just the basic stuff that you do get from the bigger brands that are kind of just mother and baby style shops. So the jumper that I bought you'll actually see in the belly shot that I will show you guys in a minute, so you can see what the jumper looks like. I was super excited when I actually opened the parcel and remembered that I bought this because I had completely forgotten. I just feel like it's too big, and it's like the smallest size, and it kind of hangs off my shoulder. I don't know if it's meant to, I can't remember what it looked like on the website, but it just feels, I'm constantly pulling it up, and I'm pretty sure you even see in me doing the belly shot that I'm pulling up on the corner. I just like the fact that it's like, I never have autumnal style clothing, and it's like the colour and stuff, it just looks autumnal and stuff, so it makes me feel cozy and festive, I guess. So I like it in that sense. So I am obviously keeping it. It's just, it kind of annoys me that I'm constantly pulling at the shoulder all the time, but it is comfy and it does fit nicely over my bump. It's just, I feel like it's a little bit baggy and the fit isn't quite right. Okay, so then I think I actually have washed one of the t-shirts that I got, which is probably the coolest one that I got. I think I picked it because I thought my husband would really like it, so I will insert a picture of what it looks like. It's more my style. It's like the rock and roll sort of style, and it just looks really nice with like black leggings and stuff, and that fits a little bit better. It seems a little bit better fitted, but I'll show you guys the ones that I have to hand now, and I have actually tried these all on, and I have been wearing these for filming different videos in the last week or so, so they are a bit scrumpled and stuff, but you can get the gist of things. And this is kind of why I picked these. It's more because of the fact of what it says more than the actual style, like the fit of it. But like, as you can see, it's huge compared to me, and I do feel like when I wear these, they're quite baggy around the, like, it just feels like they've basically just given me a very oversized t-shirt but said it's like a size 8 or small, but it's actually really big, which is fine because it does actually fit over my bump, but it then feels really baggy at the top. Compared to, this is a maternity top that I have. I think this is from, yeah, this is from H&M, and I like the fact that it has the like elasticated side. It's hard to see when it's black, but it's more elasticated down the side, which fits so much nicer. But obviously it's just hard to get anything that's kind of actually trendy and cool and has something interesting on it. So I do like these and I will wear them because I don't have much else that fits, but the fit is not something I'm a big fan of, and they're all very much similar in terms of fit. So I really like this one, and as you can see it says Preggers. I just thought this one was funny. It's just so wrinkled, but like you can see, it's absolutely huge, but I do love it and think it's kind of like comfy, cozy, like lounging at home sort of thing more than anything. And then this one, I couldn't not get this because obviously we are a crazy Disney family, and I love the t-shirts, the maternity tops that you can get where it's got something over your bump and stuff. So obviously it says Minnie Mouse, but then if you can see, oh, I just love the fact that that goes right over the bump. At the minute, because it is so big, even though it's a small size, I don't know if you can see, I mean it does kind of go over my bump, but I feel like this is going to look a lot better when I get even bigger. But yeah, I couldn't not get this, and I really like how this one turned out. So that is everything for my Boohoo mini maternity clothing haul, and now moving on to show you my belly shot, which like I say I did film a few days ago because I wanted it to actually be when I was 19 weeks and I am now 20 weeks. Okay, so this is my belly from the front, and then from the left hand side, just pull that so you can see, that is from the left, and then this is from the right, and then this is from the right, and from the front, and from the left hand side. So that was it for my 19-week pregnancy update. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I do have a giveaway running at the minute. I'll link all the information down below, and that is a chance for you guys to win a free diaper bag from Kia Babies that I'm working with at the minute. And I hope you guys will consider subscribing and supporting and following my journey, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!